the great river Anduin. This legendary river from Tolkien's universe. Surrounded by vast forests, misty cliffs, and ancient lands, the Anduin flows silently through the heart of Middle-earth. Its waters reflect the wild, untamed beauty of Tolkien's world, mysterious, powerful, and full of hidden stories. In The Fellowship of the Ring, the first film of the trilogy, the members of the Fellowship sail down the Anduin, following its winding course on one of the most iconic parts of their journey. And in this video, I'm going to take you to all the filming locations that were used for the Anduin River scenes in the first movie. Unlike in Tolkien's world, where the Anduin is a single continuous river, Peter Jackson chose to film the scenes along this legendary river in multiple real-life locations across both islands of New Zealand. Rather than relying on just one place, the production team selected different rivers and landscapes to capture the beauty, scale, and diversity of Middle-earth. This approach allowed them to find the most stunning scenery possible, without being limited to a single location. Now let's move on to the filming locations. After meeting Galadriel, the Fellowship is given boats to travel down the Anduin River. In the first scene, we see them gliding along the river through a narrow canyon. This location is about 3 hours from Wellington and roughly 1 hour from Tongariro National Park. The river featured in the scene is actually the Rangitikei River. The shot was filmed right here at this intersection. Here's how it looks from a drone's perspective. You can clearly see the shape of the river bend, as well as the distinctive rock in the background. The only difference is that the river had much less water during my visit compared to how it appears in the movie. The second shot, where we see the Fellowship passing through a red-tinted canyon, was filmed right next to the first one. The first shot was filmed right here, and now I'll take you just a bit further. If you'd like a partial view of the canyon, you can park your car at this spot. The scene was filmed right here. Over the years, parts of the facades have collapsed and vegetation has grown, but the canyon's shape remains the same. You can clearly see the canyon bend and the reddish tint on the rock faces. The river has much less water here than it did when the movie was filmed. For these locations, if you want to experience the filming sites up close, you can even go rafting with local companies that run special Lord of the Rings themed tours. Talking about this activity actually reminds me I wanted to tell you about my New Zealand travel guide that I've just released. After several months of work, I'm really proud to finally share it with you. This is the ultimate guide to help you explore every corner of New Zealand. I've mapped out over 430 epic spots on an interactive map with exact GPS coordinates. Whether you're looking for the best hikes, wildlife spots, or filming locations from your favorite movies, you'll find everything you need to make your Middle-earth adventure unforgettable. In this guide, you'll also find custom itineraries from 2 weeks to 1 month, covering the best Lord of the Rings filming locations across both the North and South Islands, as well as more classic itineraries if you just want to see the essentials. You'll get hundreds of travel tips for van life, working holiday visas, or regular trips, from where to sleep to car rentals and practical info. The guide's super easy to use, and you can even chat with me through the app for help during your trip. All the details and the link are in the description below. I hope it will help you plan your dream trip to New Zealand. And now, let's get back to the filming locations to see where the third scene of the Anduin River was shot. This scene was filmed on the South Island, just a 10-minute drive from the town of Te Anau. It features the Waiau River, which is also a great place for canoeing. This is how it looks from a drone's perspective. If you look closely, you can even spot some canoes on the river, just like the Fellowship. Here's my shot compared to the movie scene, and you can easily see it's the exact same spot. Even the tree branch in the curve is still visible, just as it was more than 2 decades ago. The fourth shot was filmed just a short distance from the previous one, along the same river. In this shot, the Fellowship passes close to a bend in the river. This location is a bit further down the river, right here. Here's the filming location from a drone's perspective. This scene was tricky to find because the shot was flipped for the film. But the pebble beach here and those mountains in the background are recognizable. When I flipped the film image and placed it here, the angle of the shot became much clearer because now you can see the true shape of the mountain. The fifth shot was filmed at the same location as the third shot. This time, it was filmed from the opposite angle, and the shot was also reversed in the film. So if I place the shot here and reverse the frame, the shape of the mountain in the background becomes recognizable. The sixth shot was also filmed on the same river. It was filmed right here, at the bend of the river on the left. You can clearly recognize the bare cliff face right here. Regarding the mountains in the background, I'll need to take another photo from this exact spot, but focused on the mountains only, since my drone was too high to capture both the cliff face and the mountains in one shot. In that photo, you can clearly see the same mountain peaks. The seventh and final shot on that river was filmed right here. Unfortunately, I couldn't get the right angle because I wasn't able to fly my drone any further due to restricted airspace. However, the film shows the view from this side, and you can still recognize this sandbank and the row of trees right here. The eighth shot of the Anduin River scene shows Aragorn and Boromir looking around anxiously. This shot was filmed on the North Island, just north of Wellington. You need to come to Poets Park to park, then walk about 30 meters to the riverbank. Once you're at the river, stand on these rocks and look in this direction. The parking is right here, and once you're on the rocks at the riverbank, you'll have this view. This is where the scene was filmed. The shot featuring Boromir was reversed, but it was filmed at the same spot. You can still recognize the moss on the rock in the background. When I place the shot here, it really shows how well it blends with the surrounding landscape. The patch on the rock and the small stone slope in the background are clearly visible. The next shot shows the Fellowship passing through a canyon before arriving at the Argonath. This shot takes us back to the South Island, near the town of Queenstown, right here on the Kawarau River. Here's a drone view so you can get a better sense of the surroundings. This place is breathtaking. We'll descend a bit to get the perfect angle. And this is where the scene was filmed. By placing the film shot next to this view, you can easily recognize the surrounding cliffs. Following this shot, the Fellowship finally arrives at the base of the Argonath. This shot was also filmed here, with the same rocks visible as in the previous shot. And the statues, of course, were added later using CGI. After passing the Argonath, the Fellowship reaches a lake called Nenhithol. At the end of this lake are large waterfalls surrounded by the hills of Amonhen and Amonlaw, where you can spot ruins atop each hill. The Fellowship stops by the lakeshore to rest before continuing their journey. This scene was filmed on the South Island at Mavora Lake. Be careful if you plan to visit, it's a long gravel road, so make sure you have a good car and drive slowly. The filming spot is just in front of the car park. If I place the movie shot next to mine, you can recognize the tree in the background. They also modified the slope of the mountain on the left to better match the environment with the waterfall at the end of the lake. And that's all for this video. In a future video, I'll be revisiting some Lord of the Rings filming locations I couldn't visit before, including one that true fans might have noticed I left out, a scene from the Anduin River that you can spot in the extended editions. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss it when it comes out. And if you're planning a trip to New Zealand, don't forget to check out my travel guide. The link's in the description. Thanks for watching, and see you in the next video.